Coping strategies for overcoming pandemic stress and building emotional strength. Learn practical coping strategies to manage pandemic induced stress while building emotional strength and psychological resilience for lasting well being. Overcoming pandemic induced stress, finding your way back to balance. The last few years have been pretty rough on all of us. The pandemic tossed us into this whirlwind of uncertainty, isolation, and constant changes. And honestly, it took quite a toll on our mental well being. If you felt overwhelmed, anxious, or just downright exhausted, you're definitely not alone. But here's the good news: there are effective ways to cope with the stress that's been brewed up these past few years. And the best part? It's not about some complicated formula or fancy therapy session. It's about finding strategies that work for you to build mental fortitude and emotional strength. Let's chat about some coping strategies I've found helpful, and maybe some of these will resonate with you too. First off, it's important to recognize this stress for what it is: a natural reaction to an unnatural situation. So don't be hard on yourself for feeling off. Instead, try to meet those feelings head on with kindness and a bit of intentional self awareness. This is where emotional intelligence plays a huge role. Being able to identify your emotions without judgment creates a foundation for better stress management. One simple habit that often gets overlooked is establishing a daily routine. It's oddly comforting to have some predictability when the world around us feels chaotic. Whether it's setting a regular wake up time, scheduling moments for breaks, or planning what you'll eat, routines give you small wins that build psychological resilience over time. Plus, they make it easier to spot when something's off because you have a baseline for how your days usually flow. Another game changer: moving your body. This doesn't mean you have to become a fitness guru overnight. Even low key activities like walking around the neighborhood, stretching, or gentle yoga can make a noticeable difference in your mood. Exercise releases those feel good chemicals like endorphins, and it's a powerful way to combat stress without taking much effort or time. Of course, don't forget the power of connection. The pandemic forced so many of us into isolation, which really drained our emotional strength. Reaching out to friends and family, even just for a quick chat or video call, helps remind you that you're part of a community, and that can be incredibly grounding. If you've been feeling isolated, try making a list of people you can check in with regularly. It doesn't have to be daily, but consistent contact builds emotional support. Sometimes the stress feels like a weight you can't lift on your own. That's when it pays off to have tools for calming the mind, like mindfulness or breathing exercises. Even just 5 minutes of focusing on your breath or tuning into your surroundings can chip away at anxiety. The key is to practice these moments regularly so they become a natural part of your coping toolkit when challenges arise. One book I recently came across that really shines in this space is Ripple Effects: Transforming Tiny Traumas. It highlights how seemingly small stresses can ripple through our lives and shape how we cope with bigger challenges, like this pandemic stress we've all faced. The book offers relatable insights and practical advice to help cultivate emotional strength and psychological resilience, making it easier to handle everyday bumps and bruises, both big and small. If you've been searching for a helpful companion to guide you through emotional ups and downs, I highly recommend Ripple Effects. It's a great reminder that healing is a journey and that tiny shifts in how we respond to trauma can transform our overall well being. You can purchase the book now and start empowering yourself with these insights and strategies right away. So, in closing, remember that overcoming pandemic induced stress is all about building up your mental toolkit one small step at a time. Prioritize your emotional intelligence, stay connected, embrace routines, move your body, and be gentle with yourself. Stress management isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. And with time, you can grow the kind of emotional strength and psychological resilience that not only helps you get through tough times, but thrive beyond them. Thanks for hanging out and chatting about this. I hope you found something useful to take with you today.